Today, it's a triple threat match on OTR as we go one-on-two with Canadian wrestling superstars, Edge and Christian. They tell us about their struggles.
You're driving on these small little winter roads that are basically just forest.
Jay falls through the ice.
Yeah.
And talk honestly about their careers in a way that will keep you riveted.
Have you ever juiced? I have, yeah.
It's Edge and Christian on OTR next.
Off the Record with Michael Landsberg is brought to you by the Cake Steakhouse and Bar. For great steaks, good friends, see you tonight.
I don't know who booked today's show. Usually these things are one-on-ones, but today we kind of got a little handicap match going. I kind of feel like Triple H sitting here. You know what I mean?
Little menage.
You guys hate Triple H, right?
Hate him?
We'll get back to that one later on. Let's start with something a little bit softer. Great to welcome to the show, by the way, two very famous Canadians. We're very proud of what you guys have done, Edge and Christian, for the WWE. And what you might not know is these guys are great buddies for a long time. Grew up together in Orangeville. Take us back to the decision to break up as a team. How tough was that, and how did it unfold?
Well, basically unfolded because, you know, I was just tired of carrying him for so long, you know. But just
yeah,
no.
I do get a little heavy. I was getting older, so I got up to about 250. His back, I mean, look at him.
Yeah.
He can't
Look at how short I sit in this
So
chair.
you guys broke up, what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, about
roughly.
3 years ago.
Now, to put that in context, you had been together for how long before that? I mean, I'm talking traveling across the country before the WWE, and then at the very top level. For how long were you together?
I mean, if you want to take it further back than that, we met in grade 6, and from that point on, we basically been attached at the hip. Yeah. So he had a ninja star. And for some reason, I thought that was the coolest. He wore these bad tennis wristbands.
Which are back
on his football
by
jersey.
the way.
Which are back in style, but at that point weren't. And these bad Converse high tops. But I looked past all of that because he had the ninja star.
So you guys have been buddies since you were 11 years old?
Yeah.
Or maybe you were 14 in grade 6, so I'm not sure.
No, I
shouldn't
at that
know
point.
It was a couple years later.
We from that point, and we went to college together, lived in college together. I started training a little bit before Jay did, and then once he started wrestling school, we basically hit the road together, and you name it, we went to Japan together. We struggled through, we wrestled in barns in Tennessee in front of 6 people sitting
all
in bales
across
of hay.
Canada, so we've been everywhere.
So tell me an example of sort of typical traveling across Canada, you know, in the levels below the WWE. Give me an example of what life was like.
Our travel wasn't typical by any means.
No.
What we did was not normal, even for the indie wrestling lifestyle. We drove across lakes and fell through them in northern Manitoba.
Basically,
hold on. You drove across lakes.
Yeah, and basically what it was is we'd have 2 vans, and one van would have the ring and all of our luggage and wrestling gear, and the other van would be all the wrestlers. So they'd be following each other, and you know, you're driving on these small little winter roads that are basically just forest that was cleared away by a bulldozer, and then the snow falls and there's your road.
Yeah, but see, you're talking about a road. He's talking about driving across the lake.
Yeah, but you'd eventually get to it. You go over the lake.
Okay. You actually fell.
Well, what had happened was at some point I had the first driving duty. We were trying to get back to Winnipeg. We're 24 hours north of Winnipeg. So I took the first driving duty. I got Pantera blaring on the stereo. I see this hole in a lake. Everybody's asleep. So I'm smacking myself. I'm like, that can't be right. So I'm pumping the brakes, get it stopped. Our promoter, Tony Candela, who's a one of a kind, says, it's not bad, I'll drive through. So he decides he's going to drive through. I said, have at it, boss, throw in the keys. We dropped.
First way he said it, he walked out, and you could see like, it was about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So all we had literally was the light of the moon, was the only light that we had in the headlights. So he goes out and gets this big bar out of the back, and he's walking. You got to picture this little Italian guy. He's about 5'3", big pot belly, and he's walking out with a bar like this, trying to see how deep it is.
Okay,
I can make it. And we're like, oh God.
So he drops, we drop, we're driving along, we make it through, but the ring van decided to take what was supposed to be a clear path. They dropped through, water flying up everywhere. It's sinking. So now
right to the frame.
Rhino, who sees this, bolts. Shemp looking for cheese type thing. I mean, he just takes off back the wrong way. Jay falls through the ice.
Yeah, up to my waist.
And I started laughing. He pulls himself out. Rhino gets his mental compass, comes back the other way, blasts him, and I think that's where the gore was first created. Jay goes spinning, they get up, and we finally push the truck out, and we got back. But there's times like that, it's -50 outside, and for some reason it still wasn't frozen. And you kind of, you don't second guess what you're doing, but you look back now and laugh.
Yeah. And at the time, you think, there's a good
was there
possibility
the sense back then that you guys together specifically, forget the others, that you guys were doing it together, that you were a team above and beyond what might have happened in the ring, but as